Imagine being dismissed with a hand-delivered letter after contributing to one of the most recognizable sounds in music history. Phone conversation without a meeting following a formal dismissal. During decades with the group, DonFelder of the Eagles engaged in a struggle for dominance, money, and power that ultimately resulted in a lawsuit claiming $50 million in damages, according to court filings. Financial documents and autobiographies show the complex reality that the band, which sung about tranquil, pleasant sensations, eventually broke up due to disagreements over ideas and commerce. Henley and Fry were first apprehensive about growing the group, but they realized that Felder's skill improved their sound, so they joined as the fifth member after demonstrating his worth on their third album. In 1974, the Eagles were looking to change their sound, and Felder arrived as a session musician for their third album, bringing classical guitar expertise that complemented their existing style. His contributions to Good Day in Hell impressed the band with his technical precision. A pivotal milestone on the Border album occurred in 1975 when Felder made a demo with Spanish-style guitar work. He shared it with the band, who recognized its potential and added words and arrangements from Henley and Fry, turning the partnership into Hotel California. Joe Walsh joined later that year, creating a powerful guitar duo with Felder. Their complementary styles helped define the Eagles' evolving sound, particularly evident on tracks like Life in the Fast Lane. The numbers showed their success with Felder and Walsh. The Eagles' popularity soared. One of These Nights sold millions, while Hotel California became one of the best-selling albums in American music history. Their concerts moved from theaters to stadiums as their audience expanded. Initially, the band maintained an equal partnership arrangement, but as documented in Felder's memoir Heaven and Hell, the collaborative atmosphere would gradually change as their success grew. What forces would eventually turn these musical partners against each other? According to interviews and memoirs from band members, the Eagles began as a relatively democratic organization. All five members had input on band decisions, with earnings split based on agreed formulas. After Hotel California catapulted them to unprecedented success, the band's internal dynamics shifted. According to Felder's account, songwriting credits for 1979's The Long Run became a source of dispute due to Henley and Fray's increasingly centralized decision-making on creative direction and business matters. Felder's contributions were featured on fewer songs, even though he continued to play guitar. Financial arrangements also became more complicated, with royalties reportedly following different formulas than touring income. Personal relationships also deteriorated, as multiple band members documented. Communication between Felder and Fry became especially strained, with tensions occasionally spilling over into their performances. According to Felder's memoir, frustrations boiled over during a benefit concert in Long Beach in July 1980, where an altercation broke out backstage after the show, necessitating security personnel's intervention. The final tour of their original run became increasingly challenging. The band stuck to a demanding schedule even as their relationships kept falling apart. According to Felder's later accounts, the Eagles reunited for their Hell Freezes Over tour 14 years later. He entered negotiations expecting an arrangement similar to their earlier days, but found the financial terms had changed significantly. Court documents later revealed disagreements about compensation structures. The band's last performance of that era ended without ceremony on September 22, 1980, and they paid substantial cancellation fees for the remaining scheduled dates as they went on hiatus. No one anticipated that these tensions would resurface even more dramatically when they eventually reunited. According to reports, the new deal created a tiered system rather than equal splits by giving Henley and Fry bigger shares of the tour revenue than the other members. Felder accepted the terms in the hopes that things would improve after they re-recorded. The tour proved to be incredibly successful, bringing in tens of millions of dollars based on industry reports and attracting sizable crowds prepared to pay top dollar. When Felder attempted to review the terms of the contract, his attorneys found clauses that permitted reviews, but these discussions did not result in changes that satisfied him, according to court documents. 2 years went by without a new album. Henley and Fry founded Eagles Lead, a company associated with the band's activities, at this time. Felder's complaint would eventually claim that the business collected large sums of money from band earnings without properly consulting all members, and that the financial gaps grew on the band's future tours. According to court documents, Felder's legal claims focused on claims that his portion of touring revenue decreased over time while his required contributions to expenses remained proportionately higher than those of Henley and Fry. By early 2001, the situation had reached a breaking point, with Felder raising more concerns about financial arrangements leading to a decision that would shock fans and permanently change the band's lineup. On February 6, 2001, DonFelder received a letter delivered to his home. After 27 years, he received a letter ending his connection with the Eagles, citing irreconcilable differences over business. His legal staff saw possible problems with the termination right away. Certain safeguards for long-term professional relationships are found in California employment law, and these safeguards were crucial to the ensuing court processes. The trademark registration affected control over future activities because it coincided with the planning of upcoming tours that would generate significant revenue based on past earnings and projections, even though Felder retained certain ownership interests in the band's assets according to prior agreements. It was discovered during the litigation that Henley and Fry had registered the Eagles' name as a trademark under their business entity. Felder's memoir detailed the intense emotional impact of his termination, expressing feelings of betrayal after decades of contributing to the band's success. The termination clearly marked a painful professional rupture that would soon escalate beyond private disagreement, and the ensuing legal action was unprecedented in scope for a major rock band. These performances represented significant potential income for all parties involved. Felder sued, requesting almost $50 million in damages, for his layoff as well as more general financial issues that dated back a number of years. The complaint focused on claims of wrongful termination, breach of fiduciary duty, and breach of contract. It asserted that Felder's financial contribution to the band's success had been unjustly reduced by specific business practices. The Eagles contested Felder's authority to publicly disclose certain business affairs and sought damages in a countersuit, arguing that their actions were appropriate under the terms of the agreements and business structures in place. The litigation process brought previously private, prohibited business practices into the public eye through the legal system. What were the true issues behind this bitter battle? Felder's lawsuit revealed the intricate business reality behind the Eagles' music. Court filings from both sides revealed complex financial arrangements that had developed over the years. His legal claims detailed what he believed to be a systematic exclusion from equitable participation in the band's success. According to court filings, one of the main accusations was a breach of fiduciary duty. While the band's name had enormous commercial value, Felder asserted that band members owed each other specific legal requirements of fairness and openness as business partners, which had not been upheld. As a result, control over the Eagles' trademark became a major issue. According to industry reports of their touring revenue, the Eagles continued to perform well without Felder, but his absence from these activities represented potential earnings in the millions. Registration decisions had reportedly been made without full consensus from all members who had built that value together. The financial implications were significant during the period following Felder's departure. The band's claim that confidentiality, managing and producing, and other organizational positions had different fee arrangements that had an impact on the distribution of overall earnings. Sworn testimony regarding the band's decision-making procedures was revealed in depositions taken during the case. The parties reached a settlement in 2007 following years of legal processes, and as is customary in such agreements, the particular terms remained confidential. These statements, which documented many viewpoints on how business problems had been handled, were added to the legal record. The lawsuit had an impact on how many bands later set up their commercial contracts. After this well-publicized fight, entertainment attorneys observed a greater focus on transparent governance processes and independent financial supervision for bands. Would any legal settlement be able to mend the personal harm this conflict had caused, even after the legal resolution? personal reconciliation was still unattainable. Prior to Frey's death in 2016, Felder and Glenn Frey had never completely reconciled, despite communication through agents in the years that followed. In interviews after Frey's demise, Felder apologized for their unsolved disagreements. Those close to him originally believed that disputes over business were unsolvable, but the finality of death gave them perspective. Felder reportedly kept mementos from his time with the Eagles, such as set lists and other items signifying their collaborative relationship, as a way to stay connected to their history. While everyone was honored jointly, the 1998 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony emphasized the group's evolving relationships as they earned acclaim for their combined accomplishments. All of the former band members were impacted by Frey's passing. Despite the challenging end to their working relationship, Felder acknowledged their common past and attended the funeral with a respectful distance. The music business took note of the Eagles' experience. In order to better negotiate the intricate nexus of creativity and business, many bands later implemented more formal commercial structures with explicit governance processes. Felder continued to pursue his musical career on his own after leaving the Eagles, frequently incorporating songs from their catalog while preserving his ties to the music they co-created. His 2017 Nashville Symphony performance of Hotel California showed his continued connection to the music he helped create, and the personal costs of creative disagreements and business conflicts went beyond the financial aspects of their split. The Eagles produced some of the most enduring. Clauses Had Been Broken was reflected in the countersuit, which attempted to prevent Felder from publishing his biography on the grounds that it would reveal private information regarding internal band issues. Court procedures uncovered more details on pay for different band roles outside of music in rock history, selling over 150 million records worldwide. DonFelder's guitar work contributed to the band's most commercially successful period, but the relationships created during their most creative periods could not be fully restored despite the eventual legal settlement. The breakup of his relationship with the band and the ensuing legal dispute brought unprecedented public attention to the inner workings of a major rock band, forcing many bands to reconsider their business practices in favor of structure and oversight to prevent similar repercussions. The lawsuit also highlighted the difficulties of sustaining creative partnerships in the high-stakes world of music business. While the Eagles continued to perform to sold-out venues across the globe without Felder, his original guitar demo for Hotel California left a lasting impression on the band's legacy. Perhaps the true legacy of this chapter in rock history goes beyond monetary sums. It serves as a reminder that creative partnerships require both artistic chemistry and solid business foundations. When these elements are out of balance, even the most successful collaborations can break under the pressures of success. The next time you hear the phrase, Hotel California, pay great attention to that guitar piece. Beneath the sounds is a tale of artistic victory, commercial strife, creative partnership, and emotional grief that reverberates through innumerable partnerships in the music industry and beyond.